Should be fine, right? Do you want me to scooch? This morning I remembered I could fly. Strong black wings against clear blue sky. Got tired and I looked down from the air. Scarecrows everywhere. Scarecrows, scarecrows everywhere. Poor bird can't get no rest. Scarecrows, scarecrows everywhere. Has a poor bird to build a nest. I was never one to push my luck. Stayed within the boundaries of the old deal that was struck. I knew the consequences if I dared. Scarecrows everywhere. Scarecrows, scarecrows everywhere. Poor bird can't get no rest. Scarecrows, scarecrows everywhere. Has a poor bird to build a nest. Over the next hillside, catch a draft. It'll carry me forward, but there's no turning back. I see fields of sunflowers down there, and scarecrows everywhere. Scarecrows, scarecrows everywhere. Poor bird can't get no rest. Scarecrows, scarecrows everywhere. Has a poor bird to build a nest. It's been a beautiful ride, good night. On my last descent, I extend my claw. Hey, they're just old clothes filled with straw. Scarecrows, scarecrows everywhere. Poor bird can't get no rest. Scarecrows, scarecrows everywhere. Has a poor bird to build a nest. Has a poor bird to build a nest. Has a poor bird to build a nest.
Good morning. Welcome to the Greenville Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. My name is Priscilla Phillips, and I'm serving today as a worship associate, as one of the ways that I serve this congregation as a member of the Sunday Services Committee. I'm also active in some of the social justice programs that we're involved in and on the Pastoral Care Committee. Whether you've been with us on Sundays for a long time or you are visiting us for the first time today, we welcome you to our service. This congregation is a theologically diverse religious community with participation open to all who agree to live into our principles, our mission, and our values. We are a welcoming congregation to people of all sexes, sexual orientations, gender identities, races, ethnicities, and abilities. And we unconditionally welcome you as your full, authentic self to our community of caring and commitment to grow as spiritual and moral beings. Our congregational mission is to strengthen our connections to one another and our planet by enlivening minds and spirits, building community through liberating love, and advocating fiercely for justice. It's a custom in this congregation to acknowledge visitors and newcomers. So if this is your first time here, would you raise your hand? Or even if you've been here one other time and you're practically new, please raise your hand so we can recognize you. No new people today. Oh, we have one. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. All are invited to join us for coffee after the service in the fellowship hall. New and newer folks are invited to pick up the green mug like this, located just inside the door to the fellowship hall, so that we can easily spot you and welcome you and speak to you during our coffee hour. You're also welcome to fill out the green cards that can be found on the back of the pews so that we can keep in touch with you. Simply drop the card in the offering basket or in the box at the welcome table in the foyer. Please know that whatever your religious history, whatever your personal theology, all people of goodwill are welcome here. Your presence makes us better. Your presence makes us whole. Our service will now begin. And I'm going to switch hats and be the introducer of our guest today. I'm very happy to introduce to you my dear friends, Christine Stay and Aidan Quinn, known as Friction Farm. Some of you will remember them from other times that they have graced our fellowship with their beautiful music and their words of wisdom. And some of you are meeting them for the first time. They're a husband and wife duo of international traveling, award-winning troubadours who combine storytelling, social commentary, and humor to create songs of everyday life, local heroes, and quirky observations, music that is filled with harmony and hope. They hail practically from our own backyard. They used to live in Greenville, then they moved to Travelers Rest, north of Travelers Rest, where they built a beautiful, sustainable home with their own hands. And now they've moved even further north to Flat Rock, North Carolina, where they're going to build an even more sustainable home. Can't wait to see it. I met them many years ago, the first time they ever were featured in a concert hour at SUSE, the Southeast Unitarian Universalist Summer Institute that many of you know I go to year after year after year and come back full of joy, and I've had a wonderful, fun week, and I'm also very inspired by all the UU connections there. So that's where I first met them. And since then, they've come back every year sharing their music with everyone at SUSE, whether it's in a worship service, a concert, or just a fun place to share some songs. They also have been resident musicians and workshop leaders at SWIM, which is the Southeast Winter Institute in Miami, but it's not in Miami. That was the original name, SWIM, but it's in the Tampa Bay area now. And they go there every winter as leaders in that organization. And they also have frequently provided programming and music at the Mountain, which is our UU Camp and Conference Center up near Highlands, North Carolina, which you should visit if you've never been there. And they frequently provide music and various other programs. They do house concerts, presentations in concert halls, libraries, and other public venues. And having such talented and inspiring friends has certainly enriched my life. And I'm always eager to share them everywhere I can share them with others. So I introduce you to Aidan and Christine and let them do our service now as we welcome them to our congregation once again. Forgot to change hats again. Okay, the chalice lighting for today is by Lisa Durr. What if sometimes it's not about a light in the darkness? What if sometimes it's about sparking potential into possibility and possibility into existence? What if sometimes the flame that burns in the chalice of our faith is nothing less than the ember of hope and nothing more than love set ablaze? What if sometimes all we need to do is follow the flame? One among scores, hundreds, thousands of steadily flickering flames across the land and among so many peoples on the way to justice and into the land of peace. What if we dare to kindle that chalice?
There's a part in this chorus which you can sing along with. It'll help you get warmed up for the hymn. Did you ever think that there'd be days like this? Standing in your doorway, trying to get a grip on the way the world's been torn into bits. It doesn't seem to be a place where you still fit. Well, everything'll be alright. Everything'll be alright. You got friends all around you. Everything'll be alright. Everything'll be alright. Let the light of love surround you. You stand still, just don't know what to do. Every move just sends you in an endless loop. You're wrong, no matter what you do. You didn't mean to break them, but someone changed the rules. Everything'll be alright. Everything'll be alright. You got friends all around you. Everything'll be alright. Everything'll be alright. Let the light of love surround you. Now the wind may not be at your back today, but any minute now, the weather's gonna break. Like time and tide, we are built for change. Step outside, don't be afraid, 'cause everything'll be alright. Everything'll be alright. You've got friends all around you. Everything'll be alright. Everything'll be alright. Let the light of love surround you.
Well, here we are together, right here, right now. And together, we make this space sacred. Together we make this time sacred. By being here, being present, having intention, by opening our minds, our hearts, and our spirits. So let us experience this joy of worship together. So our opening hymn is One More Step. That's number 168. If you feel like standing, please do. If you feel like sitting, please do.
One more step, we will take one more step, till every word is heard by everyone. We'll take one more step, one more word, we will say one more word, till every word is heard by everyone. We'll say one more word, one more prayer, we will say one more prayer, till every prayer is heard by everyone. We'll say one more prayer, one more song, we will sing one more song, till every song is sung by everyone. We'll sing one more song.
Good morning. I'm David Funderburk. I'm the Director of Religious Education here at Goof. And after our story today, any children or youth, kindergarten through high school who want to come downstairs with us for religious education activities can join me there. Parents, if you're picking your kids up after the service, you can just come downstairs by going to the end of the hallway and going down the staircase and follow the sound of voices until you find us in the RE Commons. So I welcome any children or youth or anyone of any age who wants to come up close and hear our story to come sit on the floor or in the front pews. Welcome. So if you were here last week, you'll know that I read a story called I Am Love. This week, I'm going to read another book in the same series by Susan Verde and Peter H. Reynolds called I Am Courage, the book of resilience. I picked this book because the theme of today's service is about making small changes in your life and the power of making new habits and just little things that can transform your life. Sometimes making changes can be hard. Is anyone starting school this week? Did anyone start school earlier this week and are having to do new things? I know some folks started school and they're not even raising their hands, so there's more than you think. Or maybe you're homeschooled and you had to start some new routines, or you're about to start some new things. Making those changes can be difficult, and sometimes it takes some courage. So, with that in mind, here is our book for today. When there are challenges in front of me, and I feel unstable, like I might fall, and I think about turning back or giving up, when my mind tells me I can't. I look inside myself and I find the strength that lives deep down. And I tell myself, yes, I can. I have faith in what's possible. I accept the challenge and keep on going. I move ahead one breath at a time. I act with bravery. I am courage. I can trust what my gut is telling me. I believe in myself. I can feel scared, but still carry on. I persevere. I can tumble and still get up again. I am resilient. I can learn, I can lean on those around me. I'm not afraid to ask for support. I can encourage another when there is doubt. I am uplifting. I can know there's no shame in sharing. I tell my story. I can step in when others are struggling. I know how to help. I can be the one to clear the way for someone else. I am an example. When I feel uncertain and start to lose my balance, I find my center and gather my strength. I know what I am. I am courage. And I can keep going. We can all keep going. We are strong. We are capable. We are important. We are courage. And we are triumphant. Thank you for listening to the story today. Now, if you're coming downstairs with me, please let me lead, and if you can follow quietly and slowly behind me.
The purpose of this church is to encourage all who gather here to grow more generous in spirit and in action. This is the great end of all the world's faith traditions, to bring the human being closer to the divine by acts of creation and compassion. We now take an offering that allows us to exercise that all-important generosity of spirit, an offering that will support this self-supporting fellowship and its many ministries. The gifts of the congregation will now most gratefully be received. excuse me, I'm looking for the words for the joys and sorrows that we share. It is our custom in this congregation to share the joys and the sorrows that shape our lives, honoring each one with the lighting of a candle. We recognize that life is not always easy and that we all have moments of celebration and of struggle. By sharing these experiences with one another, we can support and uplift each other as we navigate the significant events of our lives. Please light a candle in celebration of the life of my college roommate, all 4 years at Furman, Susan Yandel Park, who died last week. After a diagnosis in 2020 of frontotemporal dementia, a particularly bad one, she began art therapy. Some of her paintings are on display, along with others' work, in an Art Speak exhibition at Camperdown Plaza, 2 outside behind the ice cream shop, and 5 in the lobby of the Falls Tower building. They are lovely, and I invite you to view them through October, and that's from Jeanette Wynn. The next one is from Garnet Conaway. My favorite cousin, Pat Aptaker, a UU in Santa Barbara, California, died on August 5th after a brutal battle with cancer. She was a bright light in our family. I'll miss her terribly. Please keep Betsy and Charlie Smith close to your hearts. They lost their son Brendan this week after 2 cardiac arrests. Brendan also leaves behind his sister Laura, his wife Suzanne, and his stepson Jack. And that's from Mary D. Harper. Please send peace and love to my family in this difficult time. And that's from Laura Smith. Thank you, my extended family at Goof, for feeding my body and my soul. Your energy is healing me slowly, but I'm a little ways down the road, my body will be healed. As you did with Walter, y'all are loving me into wellness, and that's from Carol Lavache. And also celebrating at my cousins Rob and Tiffany Gaboriel's wedding. I lit my fire-eating torches and poi for the first time prior COVID, and that's from Todd Couillard. We light a final candle to represent all the joys and sorrows present in our hearts, but that remain unspoken. We will now observe a brief moment of silence before the meditation words begin. Some people say that Jesus is the light of the world. We all can be the light of the world if we seek to act in ways that enlarge the realms of love and justice. When we share another's pain or offer a comforting ear to a friend in need, we are the light of the world. When we give bread to the hungry or support ways to house the homeless, we are the light of the world. When we fight temptation to wrongdoing within ourselves and treat our neighbors with respect, we are the light of the world. When we try to overcome differences with understanding and to solve conflict with peaceful means, we are the light of the world. When we look for the good in other people and in ourselves, we are the light of the world. When we do not stay quiet in the face of prejudice, but speak our minds firmly and gently, we are the light of the world. When we fight despair within ourselves and side with hope, we are the light of the world. When we use powers justly and in service of love for humanity, we are the light of the world. We are the light of the world. Amen.
Before we begin, I have one announcement. Heather Harth is presenting Lugnasad, which I might be pronouncing wrong, apologies. Lunasa, there we go. At 1 o'clock today. It's open to all. Members are requested to bring food. This service will include a sound bath of crystal bowls. This service is going to include a lot of music. If you feel at any moment that you want to sing along, dive right in.
Difference if we try. We can change the world, you and I.
There's a teacher at my daughter's school. Somehow she makes it seem cool to like complex calculations and poetry. It's a shame how little she gets paid, but I let her know she makes the grade when I vote to increase her salary.
It's not much, but it's something I can do. Just a little thing, but if you do it too, we can make a difference if we try. We can change the world, you and I.
A new couple moved in down the street. The neighbors haven't tried to meet 'cause they look and act a little differently. It might not change how people think, but sharing dinner and a drink says different is all right by me.
It's not much, but it's something I can do. Just a little thing, but if you do it too, we can make a difference if we try. We can change the world, you and I.
We blame corporations and the government for how money is made and money is spent. Well, the truth is, both of them are us. So I will act the way I think, help people swim instead of sink, share the joy of being generous.
It's not much, but it's something I can do. Just a little thing, but if you do it too, we can make a difference if we try. We can change the world, you and I. We will change the world, you and I.
So as you heard, I'm Christine, half of this operation here. And I'm a busy person. I'm a self-employed writer and touring performer, part of this duo. And it's really just the two of us to get everything done. So I don't have a lot of spare time or energy or money. And maybe you don't either. But there's still a ton of things in my life that need attention now. There are a ton of things in my community that need attention right now, and there are a ton of things in our country that need attention now. And I'm exhausted just thinking about it. I've often felt unsure of how to make a contribution that actually makes a difference. Well, a while back, after an extended period of traveling, Aidan and I were starting to feel a little soft in the middle. And we had the good fortune of having a person in our circle who was a fitness manager at a YMCA. So we asked for some advice. And he said we should take a class. But you know, time, travel, blah, blah. I had all the excuses. And he rolled his eyes and said, well, how about 50 seconds? Can you give me less than a minute a day? Really? What he suggested was that we do a plank for 50 seconds, 6 days a week. That's just an exercise. You don't need any equipment. It's a core, works your core, 50 seconds. He said to do that and then let him know how we felt when we saw him again in a few months. And I thought it was ridiculous. But Aidan started doing it. So then I felt super lazy, not even trying, so I did it too, 50 seconds. And after the first week, I really did not feel any different. But then I noticed when I looked at the timer that more than 50 seconds had gone by, and I wasn't dying. I was actually getting stronger in just a week. So I went for a minute, and then 75 seconds. And then I added a wall sit, which I hate. And I was actually getting stronger in 2 minutes a day. And slowly I've developed a short, somewhat consistent practice of activity, which is both sustainable and worthwhile. Now, at the time, all of the suggestions that I had seen for effective exercise routines called for 30 minutes, 3 times a week, 90 minutes. And here I had started with 5 minutes. But it sort of worked. Now, I'm not saying that I was as fit as I might be if I worked out for a half hour 3 times a week, but I am saying that it made a notable difference. And I started wondering if 5% could be effective in any other areas. For example, we were committed to making some changes in our lifestyles to be less impactful on the environment. Could 5% affect sustainability? Well, I had read that becoming vegan was the one thing an individual could do to have a significant effect on the environment. But with our travel schedule, our dependence on other people to feed us when we're on the road, we knew that would be difficult. And if I'm being really honest, I just didn't want to do that. But 5% is 1 meal a week. Surely we could do that. Probably we already were. But we set a specific intention to eat at least 1 vegan meal a week. I could choose whichever meal was easiest that week, whichever one I had control over. And I started perfecting some recipes, just 1 or 2 over time, things I could make on the road. And with each meal, it just became easier and easier. And we don't drink milk anymore, and I don't exactly know how that happened. One day we poured almond milk over cereal, and that was that. Wasn't even a decision. So now there's always ingredients in the pantry, for a plant-based meal. We're not vegans, but way more than 5%, I think. How much electricity did you use last year? Could you use 5% less? Could you try that for 1 month? Maybe use 5% less this September than you did last September? How many miles did you drive? Could you drive 5% less? We tour for a living, but we actually made a plan to compress our tours into a slightly smaller geography. And it worked, and it wasn't all that hard. And at home, we just do a little better trip planning, and we stretched our weekly trips to the store to 1 more day. So it's just a tiny bit less driving. Got a little work to do around my house. Dust bunnies in the corner, big enough to scare a real mouse. Nothing's gonna get clean around here if I don't do my part. I got a little work to do. I guess I better start. I got work to do. I guess I better start. I got work to do. I guess I better start. Got a little work to do around my yard. Weeds growing everywhere make tomatoes work too hard. Nothing good will ever grow around here if I don't do my part. I got a little work to do. I guess I better start. I got work to do. I guess I better start. I got work to do. I guess I better start. Got a little work to do around my town. Cracks in public buildings might bring this whole thing down. Nothing's gonna get fixed around here if I don't do my part. I got a little work to do. I guess I better start. I got work to do. I guess I better start. I got work to do. I guess I better start. Never thought I'd matter much with just 2 small hands and a personal touch. I looked around for goodness sake, and 1 more little push might be all it takes. We got a little work to do around this place. You and me together might be all it takes. We can set things right round here if we do our part. We got a little work to do. I guess we better start. We got work to do. I guess we better start. We got work to do. I guess we better start. I got work to do. I guess I better start. And you got work to do. I guess you better start. We got work to do. We've got work to do. We've got work to do. 5%. It's so little. So little. How could it possibly matter? Well, in the standard IQ test, people who scored just 2 points above average are in the top 5%. A 5% dextrose solution is in the World Health Organization's list of essential medicines. A 5% saline solution can turn a cucumber into a pickle. And Woodrow Wilson won the presidency for 5%, which is just a crazy fact I looked up when I was looking up 5%. The thing about it is 5% is easy. There's just less resistance to getting something small done. I don't need any big motivational spike. It isn't intimidating, and it's really hard to make excuses for doing a little bit, for not doing a little bit. There are fewer needs or requirements to getting something small completed, but there's still a lot of easy wins. And I've noticed that 5% has cascading effects. But here's the real big one for me. Every day, there's probably 20 things that could break my heart. I read the newspaper, and there's 20 serious issues that need our attention. There's still kids separated from their parents at the border. Obvious effects of institutional racism where I live. Women are losing control over their healthcare decisions, and some folks have no access to healthcare at all. Voter suppression is on the rise, science is being ignored, gun violence is creeping up again. That's not even half the list. And I can't deal with all that. I cannot. I don't have the time, I don't have the energy, I don't have the knowledge, I don't have the skills. And so, on many days, I just feel like giving up on all of it. And it doesn't really seem like a big deal because I'm ineffective on those 20 things. But 5% of 20 is 1. What if I could concentrate on just one thing? Be active about one thing. What if I could let the other 19 things go? Could I do that? It's very much not in my nature. I couldn't just pick one thing. But, as some of you know, Aidan and I promote childhood literacy using our music. And the statistics around childhood illiteracy are just horrifying. They're just one more thing on that list of 20 things. A kid who doesn't learn to read at the 5th grade level has greater odds of living in poverty as an adult, increased likelihood of health issues, and are more likely to end up in prison. So much so that the prison industry measures childhood illiteracy. But as horrible as that sounds, it seemed to imply a solution to us. And so a few years back, we launched something called our Read, Love, Grow project. And I never in a million years thought that this would be my one issue. I never imagined this project would be my 5%. We don't have kids. We had never performed for children. We don't teach. But the thing is, it was the easiest thing for us to do. Doing the work uses skills we already have, writing and performing music, and it fits right into our lifestyle. We could simply add a children's literacy show into our existing tours. In other words, we didn't need a lot of motivation, any grand effort, any new equipment, any new skills. It was literally a stop along the way. There's an existing structure we could build on at libraries, schools, and community centers. And so the plan was we would do one children's show on every tour. But it turned out to be 2 or 3. And we like playing music, so it doesn't actually feel like work. Although if any of you have kids or work with kids, you know sometimes it is a lot of work. But we can manage that energy level. And we had planned on doing each of these shows for free. And we do. But it turns out that places have grants or donations. And in order to maintain those, they actually have to spend the money. And they're looking for ways to spend that money. And then a couple of our fans chose on their own, with no suggestions from us, to fund additional shows. So our little tiny 5% easiest thing we could think of doing inspired other people. And it gave them a small but really effective way to participate by building on an existing framework. So we went with what was easy. And I do not feel any shame in that at all. We went with what we loved, books and music. In the coming year, we hope to focus on climate change and sustainability, not just with the building of the house, but with our touring plans. And one of the reasons we can do that is because our focus on children's literacy has just become part of our routine, and it no longer requires anything from us other than showing up and doing our thing. And that was a really big surprise. So I don't feel as much guilt in letting issues go as I thought I would. I still care very, very deeply about them. But I'm trusting that they are going to fall into someone else's 5%. Someone for whom dealing with that issue is easy. It fits into their routine. It uses their strength. Maybe that's you. Because that's how this is all going to work. My 5% is going to matter if each and every one of us, you, all of you, and me, if we each do our 5%.
And my mother never thought my daughter would still fight to speak her mind, to have a say in her own civil rights. But when men declare her voice categorically dismissed, there will always be women who persist. There will always be women who persist. There will always be women who persist. My forefathers came by ship, together with their clan. Architects of their own dreams, was this part of the plan? For every thug who guards the gate with a raised, clenched fist, there will always be men who coexist. There will always be men who coexist. There will always be men who coexist. Don't forget, you're welcome to sing along. One
unmisguided spark falls on tinder to ignite a raging fire growing much too big to fight. Malicious mobs may tattoo numbers on the wrists. There will always be angels in our midst. There will always be, there will always be angels in our midst. There will always be, there will always be angels in our midst. Be a woman who persists, be a man who coexists, be an angel, be an angel, be an angel in our midst. There will always be, 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 there will always be angels in our midst.
Would you join me in reading the words in the bulletin for extinguishing the chalice? We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
I'm gonna close with something happy to send you out. Spread a little sunshine, be a ray of light. You can make the darkest day seem a little bright. Spread a little sunshine, be a ray of light. No time like the present to make the future bright. Got a new pair of pants with no holes in the pockets. Got a few coins inside and I like the way they sound. Every song sounds better when everybody sings along. Gonna spread those coins around. Spread a little sunshine, be a ray of light. You can make the darkest day seem a little bright. Spread a little sunshine, be a ray of light. No time like the present to make the future bright. Trick those coin find hands that need. It takes so little to stand on solid ground. Little bit of independence brings so much peace of mind. Gonna spread that joy around. Spread a little sunshine, be a ray of light. You could make the darkest day seem a little bright. Spread a little sunshine, be a ray of light. No time like the present to make the future bright. hard to contain. Once it's on the move, no telling where it's bound. I know you'll feel better when we all feel better. Gonna spread that love around. There's enough to go around. Spread a little sunshine, be a ray of light. You can make the darkest day seem a little bright. Spread a little sunshine, be a ray of light. No time like the present to make the future bright. Spread a little sunshine, make the future bright. Spread a little sunshine, make the future bright. Thank you. Go in peace, go for coffee.
We'll go out. Obviously, people can speak to you. Thank you. We'll go on out. Take you out, then we'll come back together.
That is, but I didn't want somebody to fall on it.